Alright, so Anna's player ratings for round 8 against Melbourne, 38-point loss. My review's up, so check that out when you can. Let's just get straight into it. I've got a cup of tea here. It's been a long day. Good day spending with Mum, but, you know, when Saints lose, it's always a long day, so I'm going to have a cup of tea. It's bloody hot. So let's get straight into it. From the top, Dan Butler. I've just been informed by my mum that apparently he's been carrying some sort of Achilles injury for the last couple of weeks. So I was going to give him a fairly low rating, but apparently the last 3 weeks he's been fairly injured, hence why he was subbed out late in the game. So yeah, I think I'll just give him a default 5 because he's been playing injured and he was subbed out subsequently. So Butler gets off the chain. Not off the chain. I wish he did, but he's off the hook this week. So 5 for Dan Butler. Brad Crouch, I thought he was our best player on the ground, or close to. Got going in the second half, did his best, and got a lot of possessions. And I thought, forward of centre, I think he actually had a pretty good game. And he was one of the rare mids that I think broke even with a dominant Melbourne midfield today. So I'm going to give him probably give him a 7. That's probably as good as it's going to get. Jack Higgins, quiet game, kicked the 1 goal from a free kick. Apart from that, didn't really get into it very much. And he's one of the players that's a kind of a barometer for us. If he's playing well, we're playing well, and when he's not playing too well, we're generally playing pretty shit. So Jack Higgins, not a great game. I'll give him probably a 5 out of 10. Brad Hill, I thought he did some really nice things. I thought he was pretty enthusiastic with the footy, and even without the footy he was kind of on form and talking and pointing and directing people, which is great to see from him. With Nasir as well, I thought they were both kind of offered us the most drive out of the game. It didn't always come off, but I think he was trying to be adventurous because that's how you need to play against Melbourne, to break them down. If you just play down the line and play boring stock standard footy, you're going to get done. And we tried to mix it up, and he was kind of the main person to do that. So because of that, I'm going to give him I'll give him a 7. I thought he was actually pretty solid. Dougal Howard, thought he played pretty well. He marked the ball more than I have seen him do previously, but some of the spoils just not in the right direction. Punch towards the boundary, Dukes. Don't punch it into the guts where they can kick easy goals. I thought his marking was actually pretty good. His kicking out of the points was actually a lot better than previous weeks, hitting targets 50 metres out on the wing, which was great, and I thought that started a bit of a chain reaction, and we started to get some better ball in the second half. But, the forwards in general for Melbourne all played pretty well. Ben Brown kicked a few, Tom McDonald kicked a few, but none of them kicked bags, so I think because of that, Dukes gets a decent rating. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Kingy only had the 4 touches, kicked 2 goals from it. Not his day. May and Lever kind of took the chocolates there, as they do most weeks, because they're so good. But we didn't really play it to his spots. But again, he could have moved a bit more and been a bit more of a presence, and he wasn't. It was kind of like if it didn't work out for him, that was it. Would have been good to see him have a bit more attitude about his performance. Coming up against the best backline in the league, you want to be pumped up for it. And I just don't think he had that attitude today. I could be wrong, but that's kind of how it looked from the telly. I'm going to give Kingy give him a 5 just because he kicked 2 goals out of the 4. If he didn't kick any goals and he had 4 possessions, it'd be a lot lower, but 5 because he did kick the 2 goals from his 4 touches. Ben Long, 13 touches out of the back half. I thought his tackling was really good. I can't really remember too many times that he stuffed up a possession. I thought he was actually pretty solid when the ball hit the deck, and he had some sort of energy about him in the back half, which is what you need against Melbourne, to rebound quickly. But he had his composure, and that's one thing I think a part of his game that he's improved on is his composure. So I'm going to give him I think 6 is probably too much. I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5 as well. Ron Marshall, 2 goals. I think Gawn and Jackson probably took the chocolates in the rucking duel, but 2 goals from him. He only had 12 hit-outs, but he didn't play on the ground very often. It was 61% time on the ground from what I can see, so did get rotated heavily. Might be just because of his injury and coming back and playing on 2 very good rucks, I don't know. But 2 goals from only 60% time on ground. Pretty decent game from Mo. Couldn't ask for much more than that. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 because he did kick 2 goals. D-Mac, yeah, not his best game. 13 disposals. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Tim Membry was frustrating to watch at times because I thought he did some really good things, but then his field kicking let us down. But he always offered a chop out. He took, I think, how many marks did he take? He only took the 4 marks, but it's 8 marks, 9 marks. So yeah, he got around the ground, offered a chop out, kicked a goal in the end, which was important. And he's always working. He's always going to work his ass off. You know that about Skunk. So yeah, thought he had a good game. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Ben Patton, quiet game. Cozzy Peckett started like a house on fire. Thought he and Jimmy Webster probably struggled on Cozzy a little bit. So yeah, give Pato a 5 as well. Sebastian Ross, 26 disposals. Pretty decent. I thought he offered some good drive in the second half, so I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Paddy Ryder, 11 disposals, 1 goal. Not his best game, Paddy. I think, again, what was his time on ground? A lot more than Rose, 79%. But I think, yeah, he was fairly well beaten in the ruck duels. He had 19 hit-outs, so I don't know what Gawn and Jackson had, but it just felt like they got first use a lot more than us, but it could be their mids were just more switched on. Paddy, I'll give him a 6. Sinks, 26 disposals, 610 metres gained, ran his ass off all day. His field kicking wasn't at its all-time best, but I think that has to do with Melbourne's pressure. But again, it Sinks, 26 disposals, 600 metres gained. Can't ask for much more than that. I'll give him a 6. Give him a 7. Jack Steele, 29, but I actually thought he was well down for some reason. I don't know if that's just me saying this, but I just thought his ball use wasn't as good as it usually is, and he made some silly errors, and even when he gave away free kicks, he was notably very upset. So I think it was one of those games where he really wanted to take it up to the bench, the best team in the comp, the benchmark, and it wasn't coming off for him and the club, and that got kind of pissed him off. But he just kept fighting, and it's one of those days where you're going to do some good things, you're going to do some bad things, because they're such a good team, you're not going to have it your way the whole time. But yeah, he led from the front, I thought, a lot of times. His tackling was good. How many tackles did he lay? He laid 4 tackles. And yeah, I think he just really wanted it almost too much. You know, he needed to just relax and play his game. But yeah, I'll give him probably a 7. 7, just. But it could have been lower. I actually did think he made a few blues in the game. Nasai, only the 9 disposals, but he did some scintillating things in the second and third term that just takes your breath away a little bit. Like that turn, that kick down the line under immense pressure against the best team in the competition was absolutely just sensational to watch. But again, only 9 disposals. You want to get the ball more because he's so damaging with it. So I think based on his possessions, the quality of possession was good, but the lack of quantity was bad. So I'll give him a 6, just because of that passage of play against that team. Not many players can do that, and he did that in like game 7. So very impressive for Nasaya. Jimmy Webster, very quiet game. I'm giving him a 5 straight off the bat. Don't need to talk about it. Kel Wilkie, 19 disposals. Not his best game, I didn't think. But, you know, wasn't really beaten too often. I thought he broke even with a lot of his contests, so I'll give him a 6. Marcus Winhager, very quiet game again. I think he only had the 2 disposals, but yeah, sorry, I just realised he was the sub when Dan Butler came on, but he did kick a goal, so I'll give him a 6, just because he kicked a goal and we didn't kick many goals for the day. Mason Wood, I thought it was actually pretty good. In that third term he got going, he was a really good connector off the wing, and really pushing up hard. His disposal let him down a few times, and it would have been nice for him to kick that goal running into the 50, because that was just such a good piece of play going from one end to the other. But again, Mason Wood, a couple of games in a row, actually maybe 2 or 3 weeks in a row now, where he's put in some pretty good performances off the wing. I'm going to give him a 6 as well. There's not going to be many higher than that. Josh Battle, 18 disposals, was pretty good out the back half. I thought his disposal was actually really good. I'm giving him a 6 as well. Jade Gresham, 15. I don't know if he's injured and they just played him forward more, but he started well. Started very busy in the first quarter. But, didn't do much after that, so I'll give him a 5. And Zachy Jones, 20 disposals in the end, but he started slow. It's his first game back for the year, so you're playing against Melbourne. First game back for the year. Got to get your fitness up, got to get your kind of speed up, the game speed up, and understanding with the team and what the team wants to do. So I think I'll just give Zachy Jones a 5 as well, but obviously he'll build on that, and hopefully go on to bigger and better things against the Cats next week. So that's my ratings. I was tempted to go 4s and 3s, but I just think bit of perspective. We did play a very, very good team today, and I thought that despite the start of the game, we did kind of build into it, and we really should have capitalised more on that third term overall. I will give Rats probably a 4 or 5 out of the coaching rating, just because I think we didn't really do anything to stop May, Lever and Langdon, and those are really the 3 that really get them going, apart from Petrarca and Oliver, and we let Oliver do whatever the hell he wanted today too, so no tag, no nothing from what it looked like, which was disappointing. So that's my rating, Saners. Comment your thoughts. It's been a long day, but I hope you've all had a great day, Mother's Day, or just with family, or on your own, whatever you're doing. And I'll be back tomorrow for Saints TV Weekly and all the content leading up to the big game against the Cats next week. But until then, guys, take care of yourselves, and as always, go you mighty Saints.